Hey everybody, this is going to be part one of a pretty long video series. I'm probably going to be working on this kit for about the next month and a half to 2 months. And as you can see, it's from the announcement video I just did yesterday, I believe, for the 1 to 100 high grade Tallgeese 3. And a really nice thing about this kit is because it's an older kit. It's probably, I think it's around like 15 years old. I'm probably off by a few years, but you know, one of the nice things about it is because it's just a high grade, it really doesn't take that long to build. You can get it built pretty easily, and that's kind of a plus for me because I don't have a lot of time to do all the things I want to do. So what this video is going to be basically is just kind of laying out my goals for getting this kit, what I want to have completed on it, and having it entered into the contest. And I think it should be pretty exciting. There's some things that I want to do that I have never seen done to this kit before, or I've seen a few things done what I want to try, but nothing to what I'm attempting. It may be out there, I just haven't seen it, but let's just get into it. So what I want to do first with this kit is removing all of the seams that aren't supposed to be there. So like for instance on this leg you can see basically the whole way up there's a seam. There's a seam line on the foot. There's seams on the body. There's seams for these little thruster pods that go on the shoulders. There's seams on the gun. This whole kit is just covered with seams. This was kind of before Bandai tried to think about how can we design it so you don't have to see those. So that's okay. So step one will be removing these seam lines. I'm not super good at that, and that's something that I'm going to be improving upon because like I say, I'm entering this kit into a contest for a Scale Model Addict, and there are a whole bunch of professionals over there, so there's not a lot of Gunpla fans over there, so I really have to do something special here to represent. So yeah, okay, step one, we're going to remove the seam lines. Step two is we're gonna do some plow plating, and I've never really successfully done that, but I mean it really adds a lot of detail to it. Like when you look at this piece, it just, I mean, it looks terrible just seeing it open like that with no inner detail or anything. So we're gonna get to mess around with some plow plates. Another thing I was thinking is when we look inside of these knees, it's just hollow in there. And I think what I want to try to do is either figure out how to add the plow plate in there, or I think it's also styrene, some people would call it, or maybe like some kind of Bondo putty in there, and just try to figure out how to kind of add some detail in there and not, you know, just see where the plastic joins. I don't really want to see that. So that's it for that. Again, more seams we're going to remove. There's a lot. I mean, they didn't really try too hard to remove any of them or figure out how not to have them. Something else I want to do is back here on the shoulders, also right here on the gun, there are exposed polycaps. I don't want to see any polycaps, so I'm going to figure out how to cover them. I think also we can see polycaps in there and right there for the shoulders. I'm going to figure out how to hide those to make that look nice. It may interfere a little bit with the posability, but like as you can see, this kit doesn't have a whole lot of mobility or posability regardless, so I'm not super worried about that. So step two, adding plow plate. Step three, here's where it starts getting a lot more ambitious. Just trying to get rid of the seam lines and trying to add the plow plate and then doing a really nice paint job is a tall order for me, but like I say, we're entering this into a contest, and I really want to try to just push myself as hard as I can. So I'm going to try to do some stuff that I have never seen before done on this kit, and hopefully it comes out successful. And I'm just going to tell you guys what it is now, that way I don't try to chicken out later when I can't figure out how to do it. So, the first thing is we're going to add the detail, like I say, for the plow plate. But what I want to do also for like these thrusters in here is that it's kind of boring inside. And there's a lot of open space in here, and I think we could do something with that space. So what I want to try is to maybe add like some piping detail. Like have some aluminum and copper small pipes running through here, just trying to make it look a little more realistic. But after that, there's something that I have that's a little more ambitious. Probably it's going to be the most difficult thing of the whole kit. And if it works, I think it's really going to sell this kit, and it's really going to make it look like a contender for one of the top prizes. So, what that is going to be is, I was watching the cartoon, or the anime, and noticed that when he would open up these thruster pods and go darting around, you would see this blue like thrust coming out of it. Now I can't really figure out how I could make a blue thrust just come out of it, but what I did think about I could do is adding some blue LEDs to the thrusters in here, and then try to figure out how I can either contain the LEDs, well obviously the LEDs will be in here, but try to contain the wiring as well as the power supply in these. I haven't figured out if I can do that or not. The LEDs I'm looking at say they require a 12-volt battery, and I don't know enough about batteries to figure out if I can stack some other kind of batteries together to get the volts that I need, and maybe hide them back in here or something, or if I have to go a different route. A different route could be to have the LEDs in here, have the wiring hid, and then run the wiring, you know, maybe through the shoulders into the chest, down, and then maybe down the legs, and then I can have the kit standing on a base and then have the wires coming out of the feet to the power supply underneath the base. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet. Then the last part about this I think would be really cool is if the mechanism to turn the lights on was also inside of the pod. So, you know, when you flip this little wing open and then you open this up, it'll activate and the lights will come on. I think that would look really cool. I've never seen anybody do that with this. And now that I say that, I'll probably get a message sent right to the link of the guy who's already done it. That always seems to be my problem, is I'll come up with this really cool idea and then someone's already done it. So, anyways, I hope I'm not copying anybody. I don't think anyone's done that. So, that should be pretty cool. So, for LEDs, I want to get the engines lit up for both the pods. I think it would be cool if we could get an LED maybe at the bottom in here. And then when we open this thing up, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can close it and you can slide this closed. So the idea would be when we open this and then slide these open, maybe have some kind of switch in there that when you do that, like a yellow LED would come on in here. And I don't know if it would actually kind of, you know, travel along this and look like there's something coming out, or an effect might be, I could try to figure out how to make it look like it's getting ready to fire, like that bright light that happens just before it comes out. I think that would look pretty cool. I've never seen anybody do that, so that's another thing I want to try. Lastly, those are LEDs, and if that's not ambitious enough, which I'm already way beyond my skill level with those, is going to be fiber optics. Now there is a huge empty cavity in his chest that's just begging for something, and one of the cool things about this kit is the eye here, like the kind of visor mono eye kind of thing he has, is this kind of greenish orange color. And I was thinking that if I could figure out how to maybe stick a fiber optic cable through there and you could just see like that bright light coming out, that would be kind of cooler than just having like a fluorescent greenish yellow color in there. I'm not sure how I'll do that, but that's something in my mind. And lastly, in the world of fiber optics, is having this beam saber light up. And I'm not really sure how I can do that. What my mind keeps coming back to is having the smallest fiber optic cable possible, and then have a hole drilled through here, and then maybe up to about like right here in the beam saber. And then the beam saber would just be permanently fixed on this handle. I think. I don't know, maybe. But, and then having that light up. So pretty ambitious. I'm not sure how much of that will actually get done, but that's what I want to get done for this contest. I think if I could get all of that done, that it might spark an interest for some of the guys over there to get into Gunpla. I hope anyways, and I hope it comes out somewhat decent. It should be a pretty fun project. It's going to take me a while to do all this stuff, so it'll be consuming my videos for the next probably couple of months. So yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, I mean, I can't really think of anything else I could get this kit to do. I'm hoping I can get just what I want done. I think it's going to take a while, so I've got a lot of learning to do. So that's it. That's me mapping out what I'm going to be doing for the next couple months. And hopefully this comes out to be something that I can be really proud of, and you guys will really enjoy watching. So that's it. That's what we're going to be doing. I hope it's something that sounds exciting to you guys. So with that, I will leave you until part 2.